Make today last forever.
If you're moving, you should call Focus Movers. We got trucks and crews, call Focus Movers. 443-506-7905. We can handle it. We got skill to cover it all. Pack and load and take away your stress. Anywhere you land for your relocation. 24/7 services. Get a free quote from the sound of it. If you're moving, you should call Focus Movers. We got trucks and crews called Focus Movers.
Join us each and every Monday at 6 p.m. as we bring to you Ladies Night with the Hustle Queens. I'm Cinnamon.
And I'm Stony.
And as always, keep hustling, Queens.
This is Kid Kong. Tune into Toon World every Saturday from 8 to 9 p.m. on Power 4.4 Radio.
Hey there, this is Michael Braxton with Health Tips and Hip Hop. What's going on in your garden of health? Join me with my radio family at Power 4.4 every Wednesday from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Derek Darrell Dixon right here. I'm talking with 3D right here on Power 4.4, where the people are the power. Listen, I'm here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so tell a friend and make sure that you tune in, because we are always going to be sipping the coffee and spilling the tea, so don't miss it. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, Power 4.4, because you know what? The people are the power.
Tune in to the best radio show on planet Earth, SME, from 6 to 7 every Tuesday. We're truly undefeated and can't be beat. Even though the show is called SME, it's not just about me. We work as a team to build our dream.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy tea up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Marley Marl.
Hi, I am your host, Cole Brentfield, for today, and here with me is
Javante Harrison, also known as King JTH.
And my guests today are...
My name is Mr. Sutton.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Mr. Sutton?
All right, then. Well, let's get started with our topics that we're going to be talking about then.
Okay. First up, I'm going to ask y'all a couple of questions. What is your hottest take of the week?
What is what?
Your hottest take of the week. It can be about anything.
Oh, okay. But I'll kick it off with the primaries today. Everybody should be voting. Everybody should be prepared to vote. I mean, everyone that's 18 and above should be out voting in this primary. So I think this is a very important one. And you have to vote those leaders that will basically support your stance and what you're doing. So I say everybody get out and vote. That's the key to me. What do you all think about voting?
I think voting is something that we all just want to vote for the person that we're voting for. Mm-hmm. But sometimes most people think, and some people think that we need this person to be him, to be that guy. And some people are like, no, we need someone else. This guy's the right person to do, not him. So it can be very chaotic. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people could admit. But who gets voted the most, we just gotta accept, and we just gotta see how his work is done in our country.
Me, I hate getting into politics. I did vote today. I'm not gonna go into who I voted for or what I voted for. But it really just feels like voting for the lesser of two evils.
Wow.
And I kind of just do it because not a lot of people have the opportunity to actually go out and vote. So I did it for those people.
Can I ask you a very good question? Because I want to know how people think about voting. So, how did you select the people that you selected? Not saying who you selected, but how did you select them? Did you research them? Did you research like their policies or what they stand for?
Well, I
Or
to
you
the
went
best-
off of popularity?
to the best of my ability, I did look into them.
Well, family.
To the best of my ability, I did look into them briefly, and I kind of went based off of who I felt like was the lesser of the two evils, if I want to put it that way. Because I hate politics. I do not want this to be a politics show. Well, but I want to answer every question. Well, actually, this isn't me. As you heard, this is Cole today.
Yeah. So for me, my highest take of the week was the first game of the season for the Ravens will be played in Kansas City under the lights.
Wow.
I can't wait.
I'm the complete opposite.
We all serving them some revenge. Everybody is pumped about this. I'm surprised you're not pumped.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, wow, why y'all gotta have to us play them week 1? Because if we lose, that's gonna bring the whole season down. I'm not gonna care who we beat. But even if we win, I know that they're a different animal in the playoffs. So I'm like, why? I get why it is, because Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are the two best football players in the National Football League at this point in time. Lamar owns 99.99% of the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes owns that other 0.1%. So I get why, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that we had to play them so early.
Yeah. I mean, that was just my highest take. To be honest, is because like right now, a lot of Raven fans are not really into football right now, still because of that game. So it's like, let's just go ahead and get it out of the way, and then we on to the season. So I mean, it's a different look from both sides, because everybody got different players now that re-signed. Some people stayed, some people left. So it's going to be interesting, because it's not really the same team that played last year. So that's going to be the interesting factor for me.
That's true. The roster has changed. I feel like offensively, we've gotten better. With Derrick Henry coming in there, it's going to be hard. Like once we get up, it's over with.
I still feel we need to. There's like two more positions that I feel like we need to draft. I mean, we need to try to pick up a good free agent, and that's offensive lineman and I would say pass rusher, edge rusher, because I'm not counting all my money on Ajabo, because he's been hurt 2 seasons now.
Oh yeah,
and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth that they didn't trade him.
That is true, but I like what the Ravens have done in the draft and the free agency. So I feel like right now we're in that phase. We just got to beat Kansas City. Once we beat Kansas City, it is over with for the rest of the league. Like Michael, this reminds me. I do it in football terms, and I also do it in basketball terms. I wasn't alive, but 1989, 1990 Bulls.
Yeah.
They got to that game 7. Scottie Pippen had a migraine, and they possibly cost them to finally beat the Pistons. Michael Jordan comes back the next year, sweeps them, get them up out of there, get Magic up out of there, finally get that championship. And you saw that he three-peated, like I said in my freestyle. And I'm gonna get into this a little bit. I don't think some people understand the lyrics. I said I three-peated twice like I'm Mike, because that was our 6th show. That's why I said that. And I said I'm right here with Jordan, because Jordan was one of our hosts.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Lyrics breakdown.
Yeah. Cole, do you have any hot takes?
I don't really have any hot takes today, but what you guys talked about, those are pretty hot takes. So out of the two, you guys chose some really good topics to talk about.
I have a few that I want to go over. Meet the Grams, man. That might be. I really think it might be up there as far as some of the greatest tracks up there. Like, I don't think it's on. I never thought it was. I never considered it putting above Hit 'Em Up because it's too iconic. But Nas and Ice Cube song, and then Kendrick Lamar, I was like, I don't know. So, I don't know which one is better.
Yeah.
Man, Chris Brown really has shown that he's multi-talented. I really think he could have been one of the best, not just artists or singers. I think he could have been one of the best rappers in this generation if he really wished to do that. Another one. Right now I'm gonna go light and then I'm gonna go big. I am not a biased Dragon Ball fan. I know a lot of people believe that because of some of my anime takes. You know, Dragon Ball is my, when it comes to anime, is my child. You know, so it will always be number one. But like even with the theme songs, like I can't be delusional on that. Like there's one particular theme song. I won't say the series, but you'll probably know as soon as I say at least some of the words. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. That I will give y'all that. Like nothing's ever beaten that theme song to me. Like that is the best theme song of all time. This next one, I'm not even sure if it's a hot take, but people not gonna like to hear this. It's a basketball one too. Having an elite playmaking center is way better than having an elite playmaking guard or forward ever was. So if you can get a player that can do what Nikola Jokic does, as far as facilitating, scoring, rebounding, and you combine that with somebody like a Wemby or Victor Wembanyama, it's way more dangerous than having a Magic Johnson or LeBron.
All right, so I'm going to challenge that. Since you said that, I'm going to challenge your brain. Since you just said,
I'm not saying that Jokic is better.
Since you said Michael Jordan, the Bulls. All right, I'm gonna give you one. So you were saying you would rather have someone like a Dennis Rodman than to have a Michael Jordan.
No, I'm saying if you can combine like the skill sets of Nikola Jokic, a player like Nikola Jokic, Wemby, and Hakeem Olajuwon, that's the most deadly.
Yeah, that's not like just unheard of.
Okay, I'm gonna go modern. I'm not gonna put Hakeem in this. Like if you can combine the skill sets of Jokic and Wemby right now, that is the most dangerous thing we will ever see.
So would you rather have? Who was that? I think was it Bill Cartwright? Was there a center?
Cartwright.
So would you rather have Bill Cartwright or Michael Jordan?
I mean, obviously Michael Jordan, but what skill sets would Bill Cartwright have? Like
he was a center.
No, I'm saying
he was the center for the Bulls. You said center versus point guard.
I'm saying
point guard controls everything. The only reason why you have a center is just for a big body.
I'm saying if you can have a center that can play like a point guard. That's what I'm saying.
There's no centers that play like a point guard.
We're seeing it right now with Nikola Jokic.
That's hype.
No, he is one of the elite.
It's hype.
No, he's one of the leading assists.
This is the first year I heard of his name being called.
He's been doing this at least for the past 2, 3, maybe even 4 seasons. He is on track to be one of the greatest NBA players of all time.
There's no center that
unless Ant-Man can stop him right now.
There's no center that can play point guard.
We're seeing it in the NBA currently, I'm telling you.
He puts up point guard numbers
as a center.
Plus rebounds like a center.
Yes, plus the scoring.
What about the
plus
assists?
The shooting? Yes, his assists is about a 9 to 10 assists a game, which is one of the highest in the NBA. Like that's why I have him number 1. You know,
the rules changed because usually assists is like double digits. people that are leading assists are like double digits.
I know, but
Because there's mostly
the
point guards.
Nuggets are dominant. So most of the time during the fourth quarter, they're resting starters, and that's why it's not a full 10. But it's 9. I'm not gonna knock somebody for being 0.5 off. You know, I can't do that. That's not fair.
So you think this guy is going to bring home a ring?
He already has one.
I'm talking about another one.
They get past Minnesota, nobody's beating Denver. Like, I was very impressed that the Timberwolves were actually able to go up Denver and beat them twice. I was like, man, like they doing them like that. They trying to get the brooms up out of there, but then Denver came right back and went up Minnesota twice. So I'm like, I don't know who to pick.
You don't know who
Like,
to pick.
I'm like, whoever's favored, I'm picking against it. Because when Denver was favored, Minnesota won, and when Minnesota was favored, Denver was won. So you do not look at none of them gambling sites. They're gonna tell you wrong.
Yeah.
This is another one. I know NFL fans are not gonna like this one. For the next decade, at least for the next decade, the only 3 Super Bowl champions will be the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, or Houston Texans.
Say that again.
The only 3 Super Bowl champions for the next 10 years will be either the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, or Houston Texans. Those are the only 3 teams that will win a Super Bowl in the next decade. And I'm going to list out the years, too. I'm going to get more disrespectful.
Yeah, please.
This year's the Ravens. Next year's the Chiefs. 2026 is the Ravens. 2027 is the Chiefs. You know, the Texans going to get beat up a little bit. Just like Mahomes had to learn how to beat Brady, and Lamar had to learn how to beat Mahomes. C.J. Stroud was going to have to learn how to beat both of these dudes. 2027 is the Chiefs. 2028 is the Ravens. 2029 is the Chiefs. 2030 and 2031 is the Texans. 2032 is the Ravens. And 2033 is the Texans. 3 dynasties.
I mean, I'm a Ravens fan to the core, but I know that is sort of impossible to keep going to the Super Bowl.
Like,
Every
just think
single
about
year.
it. Think about the.
That's like impossible. I mean, Kansas City is doing it, but Kansas City also have certain things in their favor.
Yeah, like the refs.
The refs, the commissioner.
Well, let's break it down.
I mean, let's just be honest. Like they said, a guy I was reading, looking at a podcast, and the guy said that the Ravens have one of the toughest schedules this year. Second was, I think, the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. Guess who was number 15?
Kansas City.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course, I know that.
How can you be the Super Bowl champs and they have the easiest schedule?
I'm not shocked. You know.
It
You
doesn't
know,
make
you know
sense.
what it's about.
Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense.
It makes sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah, make it make
It
sense.
should be
That
top
don't make
5 at
sense.
worst.
Yeah, they
But
should definitely. They should have the hardest schedule. Then the Ravens. Then the 49ers. I think that's the way it should go. Go down that playlist.
But let's break it down. You know, some of the top teams in the AFC. Oh, I will close. I'm gonna close out, but I gotta add this real quick before I close out. Some of the top teams in the AFC, the Bengals got worse. You see that some of their players left. Some of Bills players, in particular, Stephon Diggs, just went to Houston, and everybody in the AFC, like we leave the Texans, Ravens, and the Chiefs out of it. Everybody else in the AFC is trying to catch up with at least Cincinnati and Buffalo. And Cincinnati, granted, I don't think they're too far off, but I think it's enough to stop them from actually beating one of those 3 teams, because Houston's selling, the Ravens are getting better, and the Chiefs just are Kansas City. And then when you look at the NFC, the AFC is light years better. The best team in the NFC is the 49ers, and unless they get a top 5 dude, they're not going to be able to win. Like I feel like rewatching that Super Bowl, I feel like the Chiefs were kind of trolling them. And if you ask 49ers fans, knowing the result that happened, would they rather would they rather live with the outcome or had to play the Ravens? They're going to live with that outcome. They saw how we got down. And the second best team, the Ravens violated as well. Kansas City almost beat Detroit without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the NFC. And even if they do get a quarterback like Caleb Williams, even if Caleb Williams becomes CJ Stroud, he's going to have to learn how to go toe-to-toe with the best players in the league. Like, that's what he's going to have to be able to do, especially with lesser competition. So maybe a team like the Eagles, if Jalen Hurts can be what he was like in 2022, because the Jalen Hurts I saw in 2022 was near or if not on Lamar Jackson level. I'm the biggest Ravens fan ever, and I said that specific year Jalen Hurts was the second best quarterback in the NFL, meaning he was better than everybody except for Mahomes, including Lamar. If he can get back to that level, but we're seeing Lamar is back to MVP Lamar level as well, so it'll still be difficult. So that's just my perspective on it. So I probably went on a little bit too long. I have another question, and we're going to start with Cole. So we did a freestyle. Dr. Ted Sutton did his. Then, I had a friendly competition. I did mine. So Dr. Ted Sutton decided to call the freestyle, his freestyle, The Message. Mine was 3-peat back to back. If you listen to the clips, which freestyle you think was better and why? We're starting off with Cole.
I'm gonna say The Message because I just feel like I was more interested in that one instead of the one that you did. Not trying to put any offense on you, or not trying to offend you at all. I just think his was better because I just think it had more meaning to it and had more of an actual message to it, which obviously it's called The Message, but yeah, I really feel like The Message is actually a really good message if you really know what you're trying to message, and I feel like The Message was actually something that I could keep with me.
Mr. Jaggers?
I think The Message, to me, anytime you have message, but I do think, though, that you did a good job, though, that you had great lyrics in it. And I saw your energy. You had that energy in it, so you did bring that to the table. Yeah.
Mr. J?
I'm going to start by saying I think you did a great job because I didn't expect you to rap. That was first of all. So I'm going to give you 100% your props on that. Like, I didn't think you would be rapping on a radio show. So definitely I'm going to say that. I think his would have won for me because it was a little bit longer. Yours had slight details, though. I like the details that you put in it. I just... maybe I think if you would have brought the whole brand into it, like start naming shows or something like that, because you said the other shows are whack. So now you got people on the station that think their show is whack because you said it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that maybe you could have bridged it better way. But
it was all fun and games. Just never pay attention to me. Anybody who does a show, they never pay attention to me doing that. I'm gonna say this. I think Mr. Ted, Dr. Ted is I think he's a little bit more seasoned than you, so he kind of know a flow. You kind of kicked right in. You caught the beat. I don't know how you caught it, but you caught the beat somehow and just went for it. But I just think if it was longer, I would definitely pick your verse. I like that perspective.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. I have a little bit of a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my barber always, we talk about sometimes Biggie and Tupac, who's the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
He always says lyrically, Biggie is better than Tupac, but
Mm-hmm.
the energy that Tupac brung to the track outweighed Biggie's talent, and that is my perspective on the freestyles. I feel like lyrically, he had more lyrics. He had more things to say. It was more detailed.
Yeah.
But I think the energy at least matched his lyrics. That's my perspective on it.
Well, I think if you want to go that route, I just think that Dr. Ted didn't know it was competition, so I think he just was rapping.
Oh, it was friendly.
He was just having fun.
He created something great.
And I think that's where it went from there. I don't think he was like literally trying to like, okay, this is a competition.
Right.
I'm going to bring my
Right.
best bars and my best lyrics.
Right.
I think he was just rapping to blow off some steam.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, because he said he started the intro. I mean, he started the interview with a freestyle, so he wanted to end with a freestyle. So I think that's where his perspective was for it. I don't think he thought. I think he looking at you like, good. That's a good thing, that he inspired you to write when you wasn't really a rapper.
Yes. And much love out there for you, Dr. Ted. I want you to know that now. You really inspired me. You brought something great to add for this show. I definitely had to add that. Have y'all heard Meet the Grams by Kendrick?
I've been staying far away from this nonsense as possible. So, to be honest with you, I haven't heard any of the diss tracks. To be honest, I really haven't.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I just think that it's even though hip hop is a competitive sport, I think it should be competitive on something different, something that we're going to change the world or change the game with. I think going back and forth about stuff that ain't really helping the people per se, I think it's just nonsense and it's just a waste of time. I think that's why J. Cole dropped out of it, because he realized that what am I even doing this for? This makes no sense to do. This is stupid. It's not uplifting no one. It's not. We're tearing apart each other every day. Like, why in this culture of being black, we always got to tear each other down, and everything has to be a competition.
It don't.
And it don't. It don't. These guys, like somebody, I was watching a podcast that brought an interesting fact about it. I'm sorry, it wasn't a podcast. It was my friend Tad Spitter, who's a rapper. And he said the interesting part is, if you look at all of these people that diss Drake, they all made power pack songs with him. Like he brought that song to be up there and weight far as the charts is concerned. So I just think that it should be more of an inspirational thing, because certain things can get taken different ways.
Yeah.
Like me and you could be like, let's just say you and Dr. Ted. It could be friendly competition for you and friendly competition for him. But other people that's outside of it can look at it a whole totally different way.
That's true.
So instead of it being on wax, if I see Dr. Ted and I'm on your squad, I might want to punch him in the mouth. Because that's just the way we think these days. So I just think that it can get carried away by your entourages. So I just think that it can, even with the Jay-Z and Nas, that got a little out of hand very quickly. So, his mom told him, like, hey, cut that off. Like, no, I don't want to lose my child to stupid violence. Just stupidness. Because that's what it is at the end of the day.
I feel like, even if it's privately, like, you should let the person know that it's just, not go too hard for A, and B, let the person know it's just us competing. Like,
I don't even think that is competing because, you know, anybody will tell you. You'll hear this if you hear motivational speakers. Every motivational speaker is going to tell you this one key factor. When you wake up in the morning, you're in competition with yourself. There's nobody else in this world that's in competition with you. You're in competition with yourself.
that's a fact.
Because we, as people, we looking for somebody else to point the finger and say, well, I want to do better than him. Why? Why can't you be your best version of yourself? That's the point. That's the point I'm making.
Oh, yeah.
Cole, you have?
I don't really got anything to say about this topic this time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Cole, do you have any of your own topics that you would like to go over?
Let me see here.
I am excited about Bad Boys for Life coming out. I mean, Bad
Oh,
Boys.
I didn't even know that was coming out.
June 7th.
Cole likes the movies. He's the movies guy.
Yeah, I'm a big movie guy, actually. I actually really am into them. And there are some funny things about it, actually, about me and movies.
Mhm.
So there was this movie. I was always kind of a little bit of a coward when I go to movie theaters. Now, I know that might be like, why would you say that? And I'm like, well, I feel like the big screen was too much, and I feel like the noise was too loud, so maybe that's why I was getting scared.
Okay.
I think it was just because of the size and the noise of me getting in front. And I just think that it really just was like, I'm scared, and I'd be taken out. But I'm not that coward anymore. I love movies, and I really, really enjoy them. Even though some I do not like, I feel like I really just love movies so much to the point where maybe I would just like to just do my own movie if I could. But I don't know. Maybe if I did, then I wonder what would it be about? What would be the concept, the theme, how it comes together, all of that. And I think that would be a cool opportunity if that happened, if I actually made a movie. But the thing I could be really good at with movies is maybe writing or producing, because sometimes things come up in my head that like out of nowhere, like they're seldom, but I feel like they're good though. Like maybe they could be made into a movie, but I don't know if I would want to do that. But I'm not going to tell you the ideas because they're my ideas, and I don't think a lot of people need to know.
Right.
If I worked in Hollywood, maybe I would. But the thing is, I think movies are great. They deliver stories. And even though sometimes some of them can deliver bad messages, that's the exact theme of what they're tackling, is what if that and what if blank something. But that's the thing. Sometimes with things with awful themes to them, that's kind of how it gets good, is because they finally got what they got. And that's sometimes how the villain is really just the one we're rooting for. And I think that it's so interesting to me that we're supporting the villain because he's obviously the bad guy that's going to get what he wants in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the good guys, and sometimes they're just simple, but I feel like bad guys can be a little bit more interesting because you don't know if you want to root for them or not. But sometimes if you see what they're going through, you probably go, maybe I do want to actually feel for this guy and want to make sure he gets what he wants. And I think that it's really cool that movies like that actually tackles villains as the main character. And sometimes I wonder, wow, how do they do all this stuff? You've got a lot of people working in Hollywood these days. But I would say that I feel like some movies are sometimes not great. Of course, we're going to get bad movies every year, and we're going to get great films every year. But what I'm trying to talk about is that I love movies, and I just think that's something that everyone should know about. If you're not a fan of movies, then that's kind of going to be fascinating to me, because who wouldn't be a fan of movies? They adapt other franchises into film, and I just think that it's so cool to have the opportunity to bring this on the big screen, because the big screen is where it all happens, and I don't want to miss it at any second of my life.
That's an interesting point.
Very interesting. Anything else you want to add about any other topics or anything?
Well, I would say that I'm gonna lay upon. I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna go to another topic now. I'm gonna be talking about GTA 5, GTA 6. Sorry about that. GTA 6, GTA 5, GTA 6. Sorry. Okay, GTA 6. That's the one of the most anticipated games of 2025, and a lot of us are looking forward to it after GTA 5. And GTA 5, I think we can all agree, can be one of the top greatest games of all time. And it's so unbelievable to me because it's really interesting how they can take this realistic world and just make it pop in a very different kind of way. In GTA 6, I don't know if it will live up to every expectation, because GTA 5 was so big, but we'll have to wait and see on GTA 6, so I hope a lot of you are looking forward to it, just as all of us are looking forward to it.
Man, GTA 6 was supposed to come out like at least 10, maybe 15 years ago. Like, finally. I've been waiting for forever. Like, I used to play GTA on my DSi and on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
So
GTA.
I like GTA a lot, but I was after they just had the vibe for so many years, I was just like, you know what? If they're not gonna come out with this 6, I'm not even gonna play. But GTA, at least at one point in time, was one of my favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very glad that you brought that up.
Thank you. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, you got more?
Maybe, let me think. Not right now.
Okay,
I thought I did, but you can move on to your next topic that I wanted to talk about.
As you all know, BMF just finished, and honestly, I didn't even finish watching it until like maybe Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
The last season was a some very interesting plot twist. So I'm at be asking. I know Mr. J doesn't watch shit, so I'm gonna be asking Mr. Jagger some questions. Based off of what you saw on season 3, what was your thoughts of the season for BMF?
I thought it was good. I liked how they weaved Deion Sanders into the one of the episodes where Shiloh, his son, played him when he was the younger Deion. Now, I met Deion years ago when I lived in Texas, and then I remember the year that they went to the Super Bowl. We were out in California, and he and a couple of other people was on the Arsenio Hall show. I'm going back, y'all. I'm going back. So I was out there during the time of the Super Bowl in California, and it just kind of brought back memories of, like, I remember the Jack the Rapper. I would go down to Atlanta. I know, right? Jack the Rapper, y'all younger, y'all don't know nothing about that. But Jack the Rapper was the place to be, like going to that, and then going to when New Orleans, when they would have like the Blacks in Radio conference, and Luke, the 2 Live crew would be doing their thing. So I remember back in the day, all of those times. So to me, this actually goes, it's almost like cyclical. You see all the stuff that used to happen, and now you know that was things that people didn't normally do, but that was for the time. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and how they developed it out and showing, you know, the progression of how they took their business up and up. And it goes to show how people, you know, you look at business, and I like to see more young people look at business the proper way. Like you can do it now. Like you have the content creators and you have people that can do all kinds of things. You have, the branding and all those different things that you can do now. You don't have to just use drugs or things that are not good to promote your life and to do something different. So that's what I like.
Do you want to go, Cole?
No thanks. Not this time.
Okay. What direction you think Star should go with in the future? And this could be for BMF or Power. Like, do you think they should continue like how they're doing, or do you think they should do something different? Because I noticed one issue that they're having is they're ending some shows early and starting new spin-offs to save money. Like, Power Universe Book 2 got canceled, but I think it was only supposed to last 4 years anyway because Tyreek was in college. But one of the issues was a money issue. So what do you think? It could be about anything, or could be specifically about the money issue?
Well, it's always money. Like to me, to me, this has been really. It just shows how, like I talked about the last time, the progression of life and how things just moved along. But I think this is the last season. Didn't they say this is the season end for Power?
For Book 2, yes. But I think they're going to have multiple spin-offs. That would just be a guess of mine.
Because I know that the one that they had with Unique, like you saw him the last time in the last of that was Raising Cain, and now on this one you're going to see like how that character develops and how his brother was killed. So you'll get a chance to see it now.
What do you think was the best episode of season 3 based off the episodes that you were able to see?
Probably the one, actually the last one, because it all came out of left field. Like we didn't see it coming. We didn't see Ronnie getting killed. We didn't see Unique coming back.
It could be for BMF or Power. Okay, for BMF, that's yours?
No, that was for,
for Power, that's
that
yours?
was right. And then for BMF, I think the best one for me was when one of the last, it was the second to last, and just how they were taking the vehicles and making armored, like putting vaults in the vehicles where you couldn't find their stash. And to again, it's like you can use all this, you have all of this talent, but yet you're using it for bad. It's like use this stuff for good. That's what I say. It's like it takes just as much or even more to use it for bad, because when you do it right, you can be able to use it and other people can be able to use it as well.
Okay. What do you think was the biggest surprise of season 3? And this could be, I guess, for Power, the Book 2 and Book 3, or this could be for BMF.
The biggest surprise.
Oh, you can break them down one by one.
I just think that was the biggest surprise, is to see Unique come back. Like I think people clapping to see him come back, because I think everybody liked his personality, especially with him and that was Raising Kanan. That's right.
Yes. Oh yeah, you can go on that. You can go however order you want. So you put Raising Kanan. It's
because they were
Unique
getting
coming
together.
back. Okay.
Yeah, because him and the mother was getting together. Remember, they were beefing at first, and now they started getting into each other and seeing each other. So that was something different.
What about for Power Book 2 Ghost? The third season.
The one it was okay. It was okay, but I really liked with Tommy. Like I really liked kind of Tommy's.
Oh, when Tommy pulled up. Oh yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Tommy was to me he was one of the men. I really liked Tommy.
Okay, what do you expect for season 4 for BMF Book 2 and for Raising King? I guess you can go. I know you like Force, so you can give your intel on Force as well, like some of the questions I've already asked.
Tommy seemed like he taking
Yeah,
over.
you can start however you want.
I'm gonna start with him. He's starting. It seemed like he's taking over. He was taking over there where he was, and you know, I don't think he's going to California. I think he's going to stay right there in Chicago and run stuff. And then Tyreek, I think, is going to. I think he's going to have some more problems because to me he's young and he's kind of reckless, but he's really smart. Like I really like the fact that he is a smart young man, and I just always go back to that. Smart. You use it for good.
What about Raising Canaan? What do you expect for season 4?
I think him and his mother hopefully might be able to bury the hatchet and have a better relationship. That's what I would like to see.
And then BMF, what do you think moving forward?
I think that I think they're going to go. They're going to have problems because they're two very different. The brothers are two very different, but they're still brothers. So I think they're going to have some problems with leadership style.
Okay. So who do you think is going to be eliminated in season 4 for Power Book 2? And I guess you can, same rules apply. BMF, for BMF and the other shows, all the other shows. BMF, Raising Canaan, Force. I know they're in season 3, but
I don't know about that one. I don't know who's going to be eliminated. I was thinking Lala was going to get it the last time because she barely made it out from the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And then she want to be hard-headed. She want to do her thing. You know, she's doing too much. So I think that she might have to go.
okay. What about for book 2? There's a lot of people that could probably get dropped off.
Right. That's I don't know. All of them seem like a lot of them could get dropped. You're right.
I can see them all going, even the MC. It just depends on how they want to write it.
Mm-hmm.
What about for Raising Canaan?
I don't know. I think that after this little battle, I think there's going to be some problems with. What was the guy? He played in The Wire.
Are you talking about one of the cops? Or?
Yeah, he played one of the Wires.
Okay.
And they call themselves Salt and Pepper. What's Kanan's partners?
I know he had Ronnie, but Ronnie.
No, the other partner, the other two partners.
I forget, but one of them that was briefly shown. Some of them believe that it's Ghost and Tommy, and it hasn't been shown yet. The black guy and the white guy that you see on there. But I don't specifically know their names, but I've seen them like on his block on the show.
Okay.
My next question is, this is specifically a book 2 question. How can Tariq and Braden win the war? Because you know the whole Tejada and Noma thing that's going on. How can they win, or at least either win the war or create peace between both parties or all 3 parties?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think they got to bring somebody else in to help them to move and do what they to move it and to be elevated.
Then they can align with Tommy.
Right. Maybe you get Tommy and Ghost. Maybe that might be how they met.
Oh yeah. Well, also, book 5 Origins is coming out, and I believe that's supposed to be about Ghost and Tommy. To me, because Power Book 1 was about the fall of Ghost and the rise of Tyreek. So it always made sense that Raising Canaan would be the rise of Canaan. I mean, the fall of Canaan and the rise of Ghost. So I felt like the next spinoff should still be more focused on Canaan, or at least focus on both of them to see both perspectives. Or maybe they want to do something a little bit differently. They want to show the actual villain winning. Because right now, honestly, Kanan and his story isn't the villain. Rock is the villain. Well, Rock is also the co-main character, but right now Rock is the villain. You know, in book 1, Ghost was kind of the, I want to say, anti-hero. I don't think he was the villain, but he definitely wasn't the hero. And towards the end, Tyreek became that villain.
Mm-hmm.
So Cole, are you ready for anything else?
I think I've said enough for today.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah. How many Power spin-offs you think will happen?
Well, in reference to Power, I think that they can have more, but all of them, the difference is that all of them have different timelines. Like when they were younger, in the middle, kind of as they're older. I do like that, the fact that you kind of see the progression of how they got to the place where they are now. So I think they at least have at least 1 or 2 more, because to be honest with you, most people who have been in the game don't stay a long time. That's the realistic of most of it. Most of the time when you in that game, you die earlier. That's the trueness of the game.
That's a fact. There's only 2 places when you get in that type of field.
Exactly.
I think they're gonna have 3 spin-offs just like they did before. You know, you had the prequel and you had the 2 sequels. I think we got our prequel, and I think we're gonna have two sequels. I think one show might focus on Tariq, one show might focus on Kane, or if they don't go the Kane route, it can focus on Monet, it can focus on Noma. Who knows? Do you think Tyreek has the potential to surpass his father, Ghost James St. Patrick?
Good question.
That is a good question. I think he does have. I think he could, but I don't think he will, because to me, his father was able to like think through things like he did too. But to me, like he's built his empire and built things as he's gone, and to me, Tariq has gotten involved with some people who won't let him really get to that place.
Do you think Book 2 and Force will do a crossovers or several crossover
He might do
episodes?
some stuff, yeah.
Because I know Tommy might have some issues with Diana at the end of that season.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, just like with Jukebox and Kanan. Like, who saw Kanan shooting Jukebox?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. That was his people, and he did that for Tyreek.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right?
Yeah, and Tyreek snaked him. He snaked him and Ghost.
Right.
He was about to get Tommy too. If his mother did.
Right.
Right.
So he's done a few different things.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of ruthless.
He's ruthless, but I don't think he's been as smart as he should be, though, because those are the kind of people that you just don't do that.
I saw one of his nicknames was Apex Predator.
Mm.
I think it's interesting. Nothing's going to beat the nickname Ghost or Breeze, which we're going to get into.
The Apex Predator.
Who do you think? Do you think we've seen Breeze? And if not, who do you think will be Breeze?
I don't know about that one. I haven't really.
There's so many. Everybody thinks Unique is Breeze, and I'm kind of I'm torn between it. I'm very, very torn between it. Another theory that I've seen is if they've had theories about whether or not Ghost is alive. Do you think he is? Or you think Tariq actually finished?
That's good.
Do you think
That is a
Tariq
good
actually
one.
finished the mission?
I think that.
I think Ghost is alive, and I don't even watch Power.
That's what a lot of people saying.
I think he's Tupac of Power. I think he's around here somewhere.
Machiavelli somewhere.
Yeah, disguised.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's still alive some kind of way. I think he put some stuff together himself. He might have known something was going to go down.
What do you think he did specifically to
All right,
make
so
sure he got out of there?
I think that he had the bulletproof vest on that night because that was a big night. I think he had it set up so if somebody did come, that they would already have him. Like when you have your own ambulance or people there to come pick your body up and everything. That's what I'm thinking.
Do you think Rock, Marvin, and Lou will survive? And which ones do you think will survive, and which ones you think will not make it, and why? Because we have very.
I really thought Lou was gone. I thought they was taking him for the ride when he was in the park. I was like, they get ready to knock him off, and they took him out to the farm to get him cleaned up. But I think if he gets it together, he should be all right. Because I think that was close. Like to me, that was the closest. Like to me, when you get that close, it's time for you to give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and those are your people. This is your brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yo, just don't have him out here by myself. You know, he was really thinking he was gone.
Mm-hmm. You can see he was panicking.
Yeah,
right?
he was panicking. Don't let me go like that. Give me a drink.
What about Marvin and Rock? Because I've seen some theories that they made it. They just hide out in D.C. and that's where Jukebox went, and that's when she became a cop, and that was kind of the downfall between Jukebox and Kanan relationship when she became a cop, even though she was a dirty one.
Yeah.
Do you think Rock and Marvin makes it?
I think they did because she's smart.
I don't know who and I don't know how, but I do think Lou eventually got dropped off because there's no, like, you never hear him having a kid or he's only, granted, Marvin's briefly mentioned, but you can obviously tell that was Kanan's uncle through you seeing Jukebox. So there's very limited information on Lou, so I think he faked his death or either faked his death, got up out of there, or he's not alive. Well, I'm going to do something different today, you know. Last time I rapped, but this time I guess I'm going to sing, but I'm going to need a beat to close this out. I just want to do something different. I'm going to say that for a different day. Put on the Like That beat.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. And even though that I'm really the man, I still need somebody to lean on. Metro.
Spectators